matter what background, race, or origin that you come from, water is life.
Yes.
So I've come to express this because it's the truth. And it's time that policymakers, administrative representatives tell the truth and act upon the truth and stand up to the corporate body and all the dollar signs that come hand in hand with that corporate body and say those dollar signs are interesting, but they're not more important than water.
No.
That's what it comes down to. So I've come to stand with my relative. This is my aunt.
We've kind of come to realize that the states, the nation is not going to honor our treaties. They have proven that over and over again, or this would have been a done deal from the very beginning. I want Governor Brown to come and talk to me. I want to ask her, what are you doing? What are you going to do? Are you going to obey the law? Not just the citizens have to obey the law, but the government needs to obey the laws. Woo! Tell her to honor the treaty of 1855 with the 4 Columbia River tribes, to honor the vote of the people of Hood River County. Let her know.
When the ballot measure passed in May, there was only one precinct in the entire county where it did not pass, and that was Cascade Locks. It wasn't nearly as overwhelming as the rest of the county was for it. It was like 58-42, I believe. But either way, the city basically took that to mean that they can go ahead and do whatever they want.
I'm suffering like this to emulate the suffering that's going to happen on the land for all of life, all the animals, because they can't speak for themselves. So I'm suffering for them, for the salmon, the sturgeon, the eel, our traditional foods, for the bear and the eagle, the hawk, for all the animals. Everything depends on life, for the plants, for our roots and our berries, and then for the people.
Anna Mae, tell me what you expect to accomplish with what you're doing here.
We expect Governor Brown to honor the Treaty of 1855, to honor the voters of Hood River County who voted to protect the water from huge corporations like Nestlé. We want her to give directive to the Oregon Water Resource Department to reject the water exchange application between the city and Fish and Wildlife.
The governor's natural resources staff are telling people that the water exchange application is mutually exclusive to the water bottling facility, which makes no sense because the water exchange infrastructure requires Nestlé to build it. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife made it clear that they won't spend any money building the infrastructure to execute the water exchange. So what the state is doing is moving forward with a proposal to exchange water with the city of Cascade Locks on infrastructure that has to be built by a multinational water bottler in a county where water bottling is now illegal.
Who stands to benefit from Nestlé's presence?
I don't know, but I know that there is an ethics violation complaint that's been officially filed. So there's a port commissioner in question, and also his wife is on the city council. A port commissioner who's been dealing with Nestlé should never, if he has personal gain, he should never have been in the negotiations and the talk. So that's what's under investigation.
Folks coming.
I have talked to the Oregon Secretary of State's office, and they basically told me that we can't do anything until they actually start selling the water, because until then they're not doing anything illegal. And then I talked to the executive director of the Hood River County Commission, and they told me basically that they have no intentions of enforcing the ballot measure, and they expect every water district in the state to back them on it.
And as we journeyed here to Salem, I reflect upon testimony that was given to me by my elders. There was a time that Native people had stood up on behalf of that river long ago. They refused to sign those treaties. And there was an attempt, and there was a gathering of children, women, and elders. They were led down here to Salem, Oregon. They were led down here under the guise and under the explanation that there was going to be solutions with regard to the disputes that had happened long ago. Those elders, women, men, children that followed the army at that time, they were slaughtered here in Salem, Oregon. The collective peoples of the Enchuana for standing up on behalf of the resources. In spite of that history, our ancestors, our leaders, they stood up 1855 on behalf of the Yakama Nation. 18 days of treaty negotiations. And at the end, our head chiefs were threatened. You will put your X on that treaty, or you will walk knee deep in the blood of your own people. That is the manner in which our people had to come forth and put their X's on those treaties. Yet in spite of that history, Article 3 of the 1855 treaty between the Yakama Nation and the United States federal government has reserved rights that speak to water. Reserved rights that speak to the usual and accustomed places that are associated with water, fish, roots, berries, and all that encompass our walk and our way of life. I need to tell Governor Brown this. In spite of whatever position or stance that you are taking, in spite of whatever position the Cascade Locks Council is taking, challenging the Cascade Locks City Charter versus the Hood River County Charter. Okay, you guys want to take that up to here in the Oregon State judicial system? Do what you want. But I will tell you this, Article 3 of our treaty and all the reserved rights and the 13 articles of our treaty and all the minutes that memorialize that stand up in the hierarchy of law much higher than the state of Oregon. Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, Clause 3, states that treaties are the highest law of the land and all states thereby bound to. And I will tell you this, that the original peoples of the Enchuana are not going to stand for Nestlé. It is not happening. It's not happening. I've come here today as the chairman of the Yakama Nation to tell Governor Brown, to tell Cascade Locks City Council, and to tell Nestlé and whoever else is advocating for this corporation to come in and do this to this water. It is not happening.
Yeah.
So instead of wasting the time and resources of the state of Oregon trying to attempt something that's not going to happen, make your decision now. Policy decisions in the name of water, in the name of not only the native peoples of the Enchuana, the Columbia River, but in the name of all the elders, men, women, and children who reside in the Pacific Northwest. There has to be a stance made on behalf of the Choosh, our collective water. That's what Anna Mae Leonard is doing. So many other people that cannot make it today, this is their fight. And there's future generations that cannot speak on behalf of what's being advocated for here and fight against the Nestlé and the water bottling plant today. Those future generations cannot stand before us and tell us how much of an irresponsible decision is being advocated for on behalf of all the entities and corporations and people that are involved here today. We must stand on behalf of those future generations. So I've come here to show my presence, because if the policy decisions, the administrative decisions, and the issuance of a water right is going to be issued by the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, you can bet believe Yakama Nation is immediately filing suit with whoever else is going to stand up against this. because those reserved rights not only go hand in hand with our sustained existence, but ironically, they go hand in hand with the sustained existence of all peoples of all walks. No matter what background, race, or origin that you come from, water is life.
Yes.
All right. Whereas Oregon people who identify themselves as Hispanic, Latino, Latinx, Chicano, or indigenous from Mexico, South America, and Central America have contributed to our state's history and successes since the 1800s. And whereas Oregon honors the rich and diverse cultural heritage and historical legacies of all our people that bring to our state. Yeah, good. We got a bit more work to be done. In the criminal justice arena, yes? In the educational arena,
Environmental?
environmental arena, I heard it. What did I miss?
Nestle, say no to Nestle.
Muchas gracias.